Token D Rock here with another stream. It is Thursday, November 10th, 9:48 a.m. Central for watching us live. Crypto market cap sitting just under $900 billion, sitting at $895 billion. Bitcoin down into 38.0%. ETH dominance at 18.2%. Bitcoin has bounced, sitting right now under 17,500. ETH at 1,300. BNB above 300 once again. Cardano at 37 cents. Matic above $1 again. Dogecoin 9 cents. Solana $17. Um, things are picking up a little bit today. Considering the past uh, 48 to 72 hours of bloodbath in the crypto market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up, whopping 2.72%, or roughly 884.29 points, which is good for sure. But will it last? Because I do think this, you guys, is I do think this may be, a rally of sorts, considering CPI data came out lower than anticipated. I think that's kind of what we're seeing in the crypto market as well. I mean, taking a look at the 1 hour chart on Bitcoin, we did go as low as roughly 15,600, you guys, and we did bounce significantly all the way to roughly, we rallied almost all the way to 18K. I look at that level at 18K as resistance right now. It looks like we got to break through. The bulls have to put in some work and break through this band of resistance between, it looks like 17,650 to roughly 18,000. It might go a little bit above that, maybe up to 18,100, but we'll see if the bulls can do it. I think at the end of the day, this is really just a rally. Coming off of the CPI data, taking a look at the 1 minute chart for Bitcoin, we can see that we did have this massive candle just a few hours ago that brought Bitcoin all the way from roughly 16,600 all the way to roughly 17,600. We saw a basically $1,000 spike out of Bitcoin roughly, which, if you remember from earlier this week, we had seen something similar following Binance announcing that they'd potentially go through with acquiring FTX. But literally within an hour, the candle came down again. Obviously, we're not seeing that, we're not seeing a huge crash right after this massive green candle on the hourly, but need to pay attention and understand that we can still go down a considerable amount. Now, if you had watched my video from 2 weeks ago, props to you, because I did go over how much Bitcoin could potentially go down. Bitcoin did drop below 16K, which are actually below 15,766, which is roughly over 77% down from its all-time high. Obviously, it looks like it's bouncing from there, and it's looking to come back up to around 74% down from its all-time high, regaining 3%. But again, I think there's plenty of downside. You have to take into account, you guys, that a lot of people are going to do a lot of tax loss harvesting here in the next month or two going into the end of the year. So could we see Bitcoin down here at 80% down from its all-time high? I think it's possible. Even down here, I think it's realistic. It's possible. You need to entertain the possibility of this playing out, because markets don't just go up. As we can see this year, Bitcoin has come down considerably. So, and just like the other cryptos too. Sorry, I was looking at Tesla. Let's pull up the DXY. Friend was showing me Tesla and how I should probably get into it at some point. But yeah, dollar has dumped, which is good for the stock market and the crypto market. But are we going to more or less, bounce somewhere around here? Maybe bounce at 107 or something like that, and then continue to trend higher. I mean, the reality is we are facing a diesel shortage here in the United States. So you do the math. If there's less trucks bringing goods in, the cost of those goods will go up considerably because supply will not waver as a result of there being less trucks and less goods and services. So that could contribute potentially to a rise in the DXY. Just something to pay attention to. Fun fact: 1 year ago today, this is posted yesterday, Bitcoin reached an all-time high of $69,000 and $69,044. Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Research website has been taken down. Pretty crazy stuff, you guys. Look at that. Alameda website gone. Most of FTX's legal and compliance staff have quit per Semaphore. Not good signs for SBF and FTX. Former FTX employee says that Sam Bankman-Fried is missing, most likely on the run, according to Wall Street Journal. Here we have a meme with Do Kwon saying, "Why are you here? I thought you were financially stable." Binance coming out with some due diligence and saying that as a result of corporate due diligence, as well as the latest news reports regarding mishandled customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations, decided that we will not pursue the potential acquisition of FTX.com. Again, not too surprising by those of us following this on the hourly or every few hours. As soon as they took a look at those books, and they were just like, nah, not going to happen. FTX deal is off unless FTX US is part of the package, according to Blockworks source. Basically, Sam Bankman-Fried is faced with this choice: sell FTX.US or go to jail. Pretty easy choice on his behalf. I will say though that this does concern me regarding Voyager, because those of us who experienced the rug pull with Voyager, not being able to withdraw and put more assets into the app, we were told that Sam Bankman-Fried would make us 70% whole at a later date, sometime potentially in December, January. Did that potentially contribute to this basically liquidation, or the closing of FTX, because maybe he tied up too much capital there? I don't think that's the case, but I think it's more likely that any of us who are hoping money from Voyager can pretty much bet on not getting anything at this point. I mean, better safe than sorry. Better to expect nothing and receive something than expect something and receive nothing. That's how I view it. So be wary. FTX US and Alameda Research sending over 3,000 BTC, roughly $50 million worth of Bitcoin, to merchant deposit address just 20 minutes ago. Again, this was reported yesterday afternoon. So FTX US is liquidating their Bitcoin and moving it. AmberGroup.io just lost all of their funds in FTX and is closing shop as we speak. Their valuation was $3 billion. People taking L's left and right. And they're trying to make even more, they're trying to force more people into taking L's by pushing this garbage that El Salvador's Bitcoin holdings were on FTX. To lie. According to CEO of Binance, or CZ, exchanged messages with President Nayib Bukele. A few moments ago, he said, "We don't have any Bitcoin in FTX, and we never had any business with them." And what's crazy is Mike Novogratz on CNBC, Mike Novogratz, who had the Terra Wolf tattooed to his arm. He covered it up now, but he was spreading FUD that El Salvador is holding their Bitcoin with FTX, which was a blatant lie. CZ looks to have confirmed that that was nothing but FUD. Some exchanges are moving to a proof of reserve to basically prove to their consumers that more or less, they have the assets that they claim that they have on hand. OKX, Binance, KuCoin, Polynix, and Huobi are the exchanges that are now doing this proof of reserve. I think it's a step in the right direction. I still am a firm believer in the not your keys, not your crypto. So be careful about how much money and how much crypto you put in these exchanges. There's a silver lining in everything. I think this is somewhat of a lining to the whole ordeal. Justin, Binance discloses a balance in their hot and cold wallets of 475,000 Bitcoin, 58 million BNB, 4.8 million ETH, 17.6 billion USDT, 21.7 billion BUSD, and 601 million USDC. Now, someone noticed that they had accidentally said 601 billion USDC at first. How do mistakes like that happen? I'm really curious. Like, I know it's a very small mistake, but you have to realize that you're literally one of the largest exchanges in the world, if not probably the biggest one. So any little discrepancy can be read into, and maybe people start pulling out their money because they saw that billion and they're like, wait, hold on. There's no way you potentially own that much. Anyways, 95% funds on FTX. The pain is effing real. This is coming from Mohit Surut, who put too much faith and trust into FTX, along with Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen, put their 650 million fortune into maximizing their stake in FTX cryptocurrency. And they were hoping to make some future profits. Well, I hope it was worth it. I don't know why you would put so much money into one company personally. I think that's incredibly stupid, incredibly reckless, but that's just my opinion. And they're not the only ones to get wrecked. The Ontario Teachers Pension Fund liquidated by the FTX. No more retirement for you. This on September 13 in Toronto, Canada's Ontario Teachers Pension Plans. Bet on crypto exchange operator FTX Trading carries the lowest risk in the entire crypto asset class, since investment in the firm has grown well in uncertain times, OTPP said. Last week, Canada's third largest fund, OTPP, which oversees 242 Canadian dollars, or roughly 185 billion in US dollars, invested in FTX Trading in 2021 as part of the 420 million funding round, along with Tiger Global, Sequoia, Lightspeed Venture Partners. In their own words, in terms of risk profile, it is probably the lowest risk profile you can have, in that it's everybody else is trading on your platform. He added the business performing well and declined to comment on the size of, that's where it ends. But yeah, not good. People people's pensions are gone because of what happened with FTX. If I'm not mistaken, while these people are panicking, they're down in the dumps. There's other people stacking. If I'm not mistaken, Bitcoin volume on Coinbase already exceeds May and June events individually. Somebody sure is buying too. Bitcoin miners are starting to dump as companies that are dead in the water at these current prices and the hash rate for Bitcoin. We've got some current carnage to churn through, so don't think this is over, you guys. It gets worse. Alameda potentially bought up a large quantity of USDT. This could be even more systemic. This could get even more systemic real quick. I doubt they acquired 70%, but even if they acquired just 25-30%, it could send the market nuke. It could send the market tumbling. Alameda's make it back trade is shorting USDT, which is presumably which presumably they have asymmetric information on, since if it's screwed, it'd be a direct result of FTX Alameda going tits up. There's short prints and tether tanks. It further cripple crypto as an industry affected altruism. SBF is shorting the Tether peg. Justin Sun is trying to save Tether. Are you not entertained? Crazy stuff, you guys. And here's another worry of concern with Alameda Research, along with FTX. One of the most challenging unspoken issue facing the Solana ecosystem are the wrapped Solid tokens, mainly namely Sol Bitcoin, which is used widely across lending and AMM platforms. The problem, well, these tokens are issued by the FTX or Alameda. No one really knows. And these tokens were launched very early in the Solana DeFi cycle to help generate liquidity in the space and supposed to be backed one to one by BTC or ETH. But wrapped, bitch, uh, wrapped Bitcoin, which I started to help, there's no formal process and no one knows if FTX still has the underlying assets. This is very problematic because practically all the major DeFi platforms have sold Bitcoin assets as collateral. This has been long accepted as a de facto Bitcoin in the Solana space. If so, Bitcoin turns out to have no value, then it could worsen contagion along more dimensions. Do we see the problem here, you guys? Sold Bitcoin potentially not having value on all these DeFi protocols. DeFi could potentially go down, and no one's even batting an eye. No one's even like, what's the problem here? So Alameda blew up at the same time as Three Arrows Capital, but Sam Bankman-Fried bailed them out with customer funds secured by FTT and Robinhood equity. This May and June, Sam Bankman-Fried's trading firm, Alameda Research, suffered a series of losses from deals, according to three people familiar with its operations. This included a $500 million loan agreement with failed crypto lender Voyager Digital. Two of the people said Voyager filed for bankruptcy protection from the following month, with FTX US's arm paying $1.4 billion for its assets in September auction. Reuters could not determine the full extent of losses Alameda suffered. Seeking to prop up Alameda, which held almost $15 billion in assets, Bankman Fried transferred at least $4 billion FTX funds secured by assets including FTT and shares in traded platform Robinhood. People said Alameda had disclosed a 7.6 share in Robinhood that May. Portion of the FTX funds were customer deposits, two of the people said, though Reuters could not determine their value. Bankman Fried did not tell other FTX executives about the move to prop up Alameda, adding that he was afraid that it could leak. On November 2nd, however, the report by news outlet CoinDesk detailed a leaked balance sheet allegedly showed that much of Alameda's $14.6 billion in assets were held in FTT. Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison tweeted that the balance sheet was merely for a subset of our corporate entities with over $10 billion of assets not reflected. Ellison did not return requests for a comment. Oh, what a surprise. That failed to douse growing speculation over what Alameda's financial health is. I'm assuming that's where it ends. And just unlike Voyager, Celsius, etc., where their terms of service allow them to on-lend or rehypothecate your assets for yield, FTX specifically states that title to assets remains with the customer, which means FTX was literally stealing customer funds. Clear as criminality so far. Disgusting behavior. FTX is a microcosm of what the larger financial system is. Japan and UK are basically the same. The USD is as well. What happened to FTX will happen to all central banks. It just takes much longer. And the reality is, if you can survive this year of crypto investing, you guys, you're one of the hardest motherfuckers in this space. Just remember that. Because you survived Bitcoin's crash from 69K to 17K. And if you held through yesterday, you saw Bitcoin go to 15.5K, 15.6K. Luna crashed to $0 because of Do Kwon's negligence. Three Arrows Capital going from $18 billion to zero. Celsius and Voyager went bankrupt in both in June. FTX and FTT meltdown. You are officially an OG now, so props to you. JP Morgan team says crypto markets face cascade of margin calls. Their analysis sees potential Bitcoin floor of around $13,000, according to Bloomberg. Crypto OG diamond hands are waiting for lower levels and will step in to further increase their stacks. And this is true. I'm one of those OG diamond hands. I was showing my friend just yesterday that I was buying. I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, I bought Bitcoin for the first time all the way back here. like somewhere between 15 and 17K was when I first bought. That was before Bitcoin reached an all-time high of $20,000, and now we are roughly at those same price points. Pretty crazy stuff. So there's plenty of us sitting out there to buy $10,000 Bitcoin, potentially 750 to $1,000 ETH, $3 Solana. I'm not touching Solana with the 10-foot pole, especially after what we discussed pertaining to the Bitcoin and DeFi protocols. I'm not touching that. I'd rather go with some Cardano. I'm looking for maybe like 20 to 25% Cardano, or even some like 70 cents Matic or something like that. Twitter files paperwork to enter payments business. Could this be regarding Dogecoin or Bitcoin? I would love to see Dogecoin pump right now. Would make a lot of heads explode. Meta, Facebook fires 11,000 employees again. If you don't think massive layoffs are happening, you're fooled. Fed's Kashkari says our traditional economic models aren't working very well right now. Again, not very surprising. Edward Snowden says, and they call me a criminal. He's posting SBF tweets. Just 3 days ago, SBF was saying competitors trying to go after us with false rumors. FTX is fine. Assets are fine. FTX is enough to cover all client holdings. We don't invest client assets, even in treasuries. We have been processing all withdrawals and continue to do so. Some details on withdrawal speed. And Edward Snowden says, and they call me a criminal. This guy literally lost billions of dollars of customers' assets and such and their money. And he's not in jail. The government's not coming after him, but they're going after Edward Snowden. Just shows you how backwards this world is. Leave you guys with this clip of Hollywood actor Sean Penn giving an Oscar to Zelensky. You can't make this shit up. Is he basically saying that he's a good actor, a good crisis actor? Like, I'm not exactly sure, but shit kind of cracked me up. So that's why I thought I'd share. So, what do you guys think? Is this just a brief rally that we're seeing because of CPI data? Are we going to go lower? I think we inevitably are going to go lower again. With diesel shortage on the horizon for trucks means less goods and services making it to the stores, meaning prices will go up because again, demand will not go down. People still need to eat. People still need goods and services, and etc. And then the Federal Reserve did announce that they're probably not going to do any Fed rate cuts next year. Now, we do have one Fed rate hike coming in December. I believe that's December 15th. So maybe they might change their tune on that day, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it. I'm pretty much set on the idea that the market will go down. The crypto market will go down at least another 20 to 30%. And the stock market, I have no idea, you guys. I'm not even going to speculate. Some people are calling it to go down another 30, 40%. I don't know. So I'm not going to speculate. But nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed the stream, please like and subscribe. Notification bell to be notified when we go live next. I will see you guys all tomorrow, bright and early. Probably hop on a bit early, maybe 8:45, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time before I head out of town for the weekend. Headed over to Ohio to check out James Gang. Joe Walsh is hosting an event for Vets Aid 2022 along with the Black Keys, Nine Inch Nails, and Breeders, and Dave Grohl's special guesting, so that should be pretty cool. Gonna go check that out on Sunday with my buddy, so that's why I will be out of town. Probably won't see a stream from me Monday, but we'll see. Until then, you guys take care